step out the box.
Yeah.
Don't
Out your comfort zone.
Yeah, get out your comfort zone.
That's real.
Ain't nothing good coming from there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're just gonna spend the rest of your life watching other people do the things that you so desire to do, right? And get the results that you know you could have, but you too closed in and within your own bubble and in your own head. Build relationships.
Yeah.
Let go of that ego.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got to where I am because I had no ego involved.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
Like,
That's
give
real
people their
talk.
flowers, give them their props, ask for help.
Yeah.
Be genuine about what you need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Add value.
Like, build those mutual, valuable relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The two-way ones, not the one-way streets.
Yeah,
You know
man.
what I'm
We need the
saying?
two ways.
You
we
need
need more
the
two-way.
Right.
It's a lot of one ways, man.
Right. No, absolutely. And then
Dead ends too. Don't get it.
Yes, facts, man. Yes, welcome back to another installment of This Is Just a Conversation Spotlight series, where we're focused on amplifying, highlighting, and just uplifting a lot of the amazing work that's going on out here in the Puget Sound region. If you've been tuning in to the previous episodes that have been released, you already know this is just real conversations. This is real dialogue, and allowing people to speak for themselves, voice the things that need to be voiced. And I'm actually glad that, I started this series, because a lot of times we overthink things. A lot of times we try to present things in a certain way, or we have to plan too much before we even start. And this is just, like I said, this is needed. This is a way for me to extend our network even further and create more branches. So today I'm honored to be sitting down with two brothers. One I'm familiar with, one I just got a chance to meet today. Anthony Curtis, who is the founder and director of Black Equality Coalition, along with Jimmy Brown, who heads up Build to Lead Foundation. Both of these brothers have been doing amazing work, and they're tackling the same issues just from different angles and in their own unique way. Yeah. And so I'm going to let you brothers kind of speak a little bit about the work you do. But first of all, how are both y'all doing, man?
Good.
And you could talk, make sure you're talking to the mic. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Feeling solid. Real good.
Yeah.
Beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. Well, just to kind of get things started, I guess you guys both can kind of tackle this separately, but what would you say is like your mission for each organization, if you can kind of sum it up into I guess a statement, or how would you describe it for those who want to get involved or learn more about it?
Well, shoot, the mission is really now to kind of collectively build with other organizations. So
Okay.
the mission is slowly changing right now.
Okay.
It was to provide direct service and programming to youth and families, but now it's a greater. The vision has expanded. The mission has expanded as well. So now we're mainly focused on like coalition building.
Okay.
Convening, gathering,
Okay.
stakeholders, community, nonprofits, youth, just bringing everybody together collectively to kind of solve these problems.
Okay. I see what you're saying. I see it started off similar to like, I'm gonna tackle this based on how we see this happening, and then now we're realizing we're stronger with numbers.
Yeah, and we can't do it single-handedly or just like as an individual org. You got to collab with other organizations.
Got you.
So my goal is to really solve the problem, not try to just solve a little bit of it.
Got it. Yeah.
Completely wipe it out.
Yeah.
Goal,
No, that shouldn't be
right?
the goal.
Yeah. That's the goal.
Jimmy, how would you describe, I guess, the mission behind Build to Lead and what you guys are doing?
You said this is, I could be real on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could be real.
Hey.
All right. So, one of the things I think about is this book called The Spook Who Sat by the Door. Right?
I've heard of that book. Yeah.
And a big reason I reference that book is because I say Build to Lead puts the medicine in the candy.
Mm-hmm.
And our focus is really empowering youth, their families, and communities to think critically about the systems of criminal justice, education, and healthcare. But more so in a way of like, how can we elevate them to be leaders in the system with the mindset and the connection points that they have to the community, right? All too often you see these executives and leaders in these systems that don't have any knowledge of what's really going on the ground, behind the scenes. And they really don't know how to really tailor their services towards the communities that are being impacted the most.
Yeah.
So when I think about that book, the reason why I say that is not to overthrow anything, but to think critically about who we have in the positions of power, and how we can educate and inform the youth that we're working with to be in those positions, but never forgetting where they came from. And that's the focus point.
Got you. Yeah, because I feel like there is always a disconnect.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not, just from looking at history, a lot of times it's not intentional. Like, it's not like something I want to do. People don't necessarily want to forget where they came from or detach from what made them. A lot of times there's a lot of outside factors or third parties that interfere, you know, and unbeknownst to them, they don't even see it coming. Next thing you know, they don't even know where they're from. They lose that attachment. And I think a lot of times it does take some support, some like proactiveness of making sure you stay connected, you know.
And a why.
Yeah.
Like, what's your why for jumping into the situation and wanting to lead in this way? You know, that's one thing we work heavy with our youth on, is really discovering like the purpose behind them being in our space. And then that leading to their value system. You know what I'm saying? And internally, when we can shift the paradigm for them to understand why they're doing what they're doing with us, it starts to help bridge the gap between that. So like, if you remember that, no matter where you elevate to, you're never going to lose touch on like the people that you're connected to, the community you come from. And you're going to advocate in a different way, you know?
That's real. That's real. I'm actually curious. So both of y'all, with having as much experience as both y'all have, right, with both your separate organizations, how would you describe the current chapter you're in right now? Like, obviously you started somewhere. It always starts with an idea or a vision or an intention, and you gotta go. And when you now looking back at all you've done, it's 2025. How would you describe the chapter you guys are in right now?
Yeah, jump in on that because you just had that. I think catalyst happened to you. You know
yeah.
It was like a affirming thing.
Yeah, you know, and I've been thinking about it too. And I would just probably describe it as like, you know, because when I first started this, like, I had no idea or clue that you were supposed to start a nonprofit. I was just passionate about helping people. I was just passionate about serving. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what I went through as a kid and as a young person in my community growing up. And I'm like, man, this ain't right. We ain't supposed to be going through this. You know, so just helping, just serving. And now just to be able to do something consistently, right? And it becomes an organization type thing. I feel like I can describe it right now as like, I would just say like unbelievable, really, because of the impact that's being made. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like you living out, you know, the dream, really. The dream is to serve. You know what I mean? I don't have those. Like, I don't dream to be all this and all that. I just dream to really fulfill my calling and my purpose.
That's real.
Right?
That's real.
So I'll just say it's unbelievable right now.
I say for me right now, I'm in this mode of like sustaining the game. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's this weird kind of feeling of being able to say, okay, I got to where I got to that goal that I wanted to reach within these like first 5 years, right? Because we was founded in 2020.
Okay.
And, you know, right now you're at that point where you start to realize like, okay, how are you going to get to that 10th year? Like that 15th year, that 20th year. Yeah. And that becomes a whole different monster when you got people now that you got to be accountable to. You got staff, you got stakeholders, people who believe in your mission, community members who believe in you. You know what I'm saying? And other organizations like this brother right here who believe in us. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's like, you know, I'm in this time where it's like I'm back to the drawing board of what got me to that point. Yeah. So like, you know, I'm back. I'm ground zero. I'm back to waking up early, working out. I'm back to listening to motivational content. I'm locked in on the right music. You know what I'm saying? I'm journaling. Real. I'm doing all that. You know
that's so real, man. I was literally thinking about this like, I'd say maybe a couple weeks ago, and it was the concept of like you have to find ways to recommit.
There we go.
Recommit to what you're doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? We, like I told you, we started 2018, really 2016, if you want to get real about the inception of everything. So it's a weird thing where like, I get what you're saying where we're doing great work and we're making progress, but you also got to be mindful of like, if you are one of the main drivers of this thing, how are you recommitting yourself?
Yeah.
And I'm, we're all sports fans here, I'm sure. So
Come on.
you could just look at someone's sports journey, you name it, whether it be a LeBron or a Kobe, or their story arc is very similar to that, where they had to find moments in their career where they had to recommit or reinvent themselves or work harder or try to take it to another level. And I think regardless of what journey we're on, I think that's kind of what I got from that is finding ways to recommit to what you've been set out to do. Yeah.
That's the hardest thing. I mean, one of the things we all realize is that it takes effort to get anywhere. And so, for me, going back to the drawing board was one of those things you got to start being uncomfortable again, because the uncomfortability is what drove you, right? To put in those extra hours and put in those extra reps to get to where you want to be. And so, but I love it. I love this part of the game because this is where, you start to really see your growth and your elevation happen.
Now, I do want to get into, like, obviously the programs you guys have created and are running, how they're serving the youth. If you can just touch on, I guess, for someone who's not familiar with Build to Lead or Black Equality Coalition, what are some of the main driving programs you guys have, and how do you see those really being effective with our youth?
Yeah, so we got 2 initiatives. So Build to Lead Direct is all around like civic engagement, workforce development, entrepreneurship, financial literacy. And we run these programs in Federal Way Public Schools, Tacoma Public Schools, from elementary all the way to young adults. And the goal is that we want to create a experience where anybody can enter in at any point, specifically for our age range. So you go 12 to 25. You think about all the different life experiences those age ranges have, and then the fact that we are serving, the communities that have the lowest income, lowest life expectancy, highest indicators for everything negative, right? So when we go into our programs, a lot of our ideas to think about making sure that, number one, we're serving the right community. So when I think about the work that we're doing with the social and emotional learning, financial literacy, those are elementary and middle school kids. So we're teaching them about character development, entrepreneurship, financial literacy, like basics, like a need versus a want. Right. So one of the things we talk to the kids about, which is funny, is we show these pictures, and in one of the pictures I have like a bust down Rolex, and I say, is this an asset or a liability? Right. Immediately, some of them are like, oh, this is an asset. Well, why you say that? Oh, because you see the diamonds on it. I was like, the diamonds is the exact thing that makes us a liability. Right. Because it's going to lose its value over time. So we teach them about the differences between things like that. Old school cars, do they gain value or do they depreciate? And then going into our other programs, we do like workforce development training for diversion youth. So youth that are coming through King County diversion opportunities, they get a pre-apprenticeship certification as environmental specialists in a green job economy. That's one of the biggest growing economies, right? I think it's like 7% annually right now on growth. So you think about that, a lot of the white people are aging out. So our people need to be ready to take over those jobs, right? That's real. 6 figures starting out. And then on the legacy side, we do like a lot of community-based initiatives. So like we do this annual event called Melanin into Medicine. It's like a healthcare career event. And we do it inside of one of our partner high schools. Where we bring out all of our healthcare partners to talk to the kids about being a doctor, what it means to be in the field of medicine, and what's the journey, like how do you get there? So we had Morehouse fly out for 2 years. They came out and brought their doctors out and talked to the kids and spent FaceTime with them. And some of those kids have transitioned into actually being in the healthcare field. And so that's just some of the stuff we do. We do summer programming, taking kids on trips. We try to do it all. And I think our main focus is just being able to impact those 3 systems I talked about earlier, but more importantly, making sure that we meet them where they at.
No, that's real, man. You want to speak to some of the programs you guys are running as well, please?
We don't have any programs right now, but we're really known for our events.
Right? Well, you just had the block party, right? You want to talk about that as well?
Exactly.
I was jumping.
So when we jumped into the field, it was direct service. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, what do you need right now? During COVID, it's like, what do you need? People need food. Schools needed school supplies. You know what I mean? So during the holidays, people ain't got no money. It's like, how can we help? How can we serve? So doing Adopt a Family for Christmas, a giving tree, utilizing our platform at that time to help other families. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how we jumped in the game.
Got it.
By getting out there in the community,
Yeah.
you know, building and serving, you know what I'm saying, cleaning up the community. So we had
Not overthinking it.
no,
Yeah.
no,
Just
seeing the
acting,
need
taking
and
action.
yeah,
Taking action, serving.
and it wasn't nothing that you had to like overextend yourself on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We started inside of UPS. Okay, well we got people in here. As long as there's people somewhere, you can make some stuff happen. You know what I mean?
That's a
So
fact.
we just started organizing.
That's a
right?
fact.
Going out to the community, talking with people, talking to our networks, seeing what we can come up with to help families, you know, from start to finish. So just got out there, like I said, community cleanups in Renton at the Safeway. We did one in Rainier Beach. Then we did school supplies, back to school giveaway.
Yeah.
We did, like I said, Christmas adopted family, and then we Thanksgiving food drive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So just all these events that was coming up, we know it was hard times for families. Like, what can we do? And I know that with more people, you can do a lot. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
So we might have had the connections. You know, somebody else may have had like some supplies or you know, or the actual people that need to be served.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we just kind of just started putting it together, right?
Yeah.
Piecing it together and just staying consistent.
Yeah. That's
Right?
big. That's big.
Staying consistent with showing up even after COVID. We still back to school. We still community cleanups.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We still giving clothes.
Yeah.
Giving shoes and giving food, right? Constantly building that. And then, you know, we branched off into the school districts, right? Started forming partnerships with Federal Way School District.
Okay.
Right. I always like to serve in my backyard. You know what I mean? Me personally.
Yeah.
I don't believe in just going serving somewhere else. And it's a need right here in my own area.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's what people know us for.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, seriously.
Those events. And that leads me to the block party.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So for people that was coming for the first time may have been like, oh dang, you know what I'm saying? Like, but they don't know that we started off with 60 people. You know what I'm saying?
And so this is annual.
This
And
is
what
annual.
year was this year's?
This is year 5.
Year 5.
Yeah,
See?
yeah.
That's that consistency.
Yeah. We did some crazy stuff one year where we did 2 in 1 year. People don't even know that.
Wow.
We did 1 at Safeway and then we won it with the school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like we serve machines. Like when it comes to serving, like we serve our way to the top. And whatever our top looks like.
You
Yeah.
guys say, how many people there this year, would you say? Estimated?
I would say close to 700 people.
It looked like it too.
That's
Yeah, close to
crazy.
700.
out.
We've never done that. We don't have 700 events all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that consistency, we started. People know us for the block parties. They know that we're gonna bring the clothing closet out. They know about Lori's closet, and they know we got fire stuff in the closet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They know regular basic closet.
Yeah.
We're gonna get some
That's
heat
right.
in there.
Our kids was hitting the closet.
Yeah.
Had, one of our youth was running around with the fitted hat,
Fitted hat on.
the Air Force Ones.
Fresh whites. You know what I'm saying?
You
So
know-
they know they're gonna find some heat in the closet because we're not giving away anything that we wouldn't wear ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
You
what I
know,
mean?
what's interesting though is because I feel like what I'm realizing is like you need structure, but you also need action.
Yeah, come on.
And you know what I'm
Gotta have
saying?
both.
No, that's my point.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
what I realized,
No, you're right.
and maybe you could speak to this, because part of what I love to do when we're sitting down with folks like y'all is try to like encourage or inspire someone who's listening or watching who people want to help, bro. People want to help. People want to be a part of their community.
Right.
A lot of times they're hesitant or they're holding back because they think they need to have the structure, the resource, the website, the 501c3,
That's deep, bro.
all of that.
That's deep.
But then you're talking about, bro, I just went out there and started serving folks. And it's not to say that you knew that 5 years later you'd be on your 5th year doing a block party, but it was intentional was to serve. You get out there, you provide that action, and then the community responds. As they respond, you refine. And it's just it develops into what now are two built up organizations.
Yeah.
Right.
And so can you guys just speak to kind of like the importance of building your structure over time, but just taking action, man? Because we need more people to just take action, I feel like.
Yeah, I'll say this real quick. You have to create opportunities for people to serve.
There you go.
People are looking to serve. They're looking to help. They don't know how. So I realized that early on. Like, a lot of people want to help. They just don't know how. So when we created an opportunity for people to serve, that's when the momentum, that's when people started. That's why we constantly have clothes. And we constantly, you know what I'm saying, have food, and we hygiene products. You know what I mean? Because we're creating a platform where everybody can come and feel like they're being a part of the solution.
Yeah, it's like you build it, they'll come. That like that mentality.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then my thing about planning, I'm not a planner, right? So I had to learn that a little bit later. Like, bro, at some point you got to start planning. At some
knowing
point,
the strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah. I had to learn it, which is what Jimmy helps me out with a lot too.
Yeah, see,
with us having different personalities, right? Jimmy, you go into his office and you're gonna be like, where am I at? It's writing everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
one thing Jimmy gonna do is he gonna plan some stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Make sure planning is important.
It's very important.
Right?
Yeah.
But I just my outlook on things is different. I'm like, look, let's just jump out the plane.
Yeah.
And then we just build a parachute on the way down.
Yeah.
And at that point, you ain't got no choice but it's either build a parachute or
fight
die.
or flight.
You know what I'm saying?
It's fight or flight.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And when you in that mode, but that's my upbringing. That's what I always been running off impulse.
Yeah.
Like, just do it. And I'll hit my head and be like, that didn't feel good. Let me
But it's a balance too, right?
Yeah.
Because you were just talking about like the spook who sat by the door, right? That thing of like, I'm trying to rise up.
Absolutely.
But when shit hits the fan, do I still have those instinctive knowing how to react, that instinctive knowing of how to react to our community, how to connect, how to relate?
Yeah.
If you're so far removed, you don't know what to do. You got all the resources.
Right. Yeah.
You're sitting up there and you're like, but I don't know how to connect.
Oh. Right.
You know what I mean? That just popped in my head when I'm thinking about
real.
that. Yeah.
I walk into places all the time like, why is all that on your why do you have all that stuff in here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, it's people that need that.
Yeah.
And you just hoarding it and it's just there. And I'm like, that's not, you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You have it. So I meet a lot of people that have a good and great plan, but they don't know how to execute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Execution
Yeah.
is key.
But when you know how to do both,
Yeah.
you become unstoppable.
That's real.
Jump in, Jimmy.
So the question was, sorry, one more question.
Well, the question was more so initially was about the programs, and then it was also about how to
plan and
how to pretty much inspire people to take action.
Yes.
Even if they don't have the structure set up.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would say really taking action is about just understanding what gap you're trying to fill.
Okay.
Like what is the solution? Like whatever problem you identify, what can you do,
There you
right,
go.
to be an asset and a solution? And for me, that was always my goal mode. Like my goal mode was really honestly same thing that he was talking about. It was like when I started entrepreneurship, I just jumped off the porch and said, I'm going to do it, right?
Yeah.
I was working with the City of Seattle Upward Bound, 2016, and I just felt like the work that I was doing wasn't contributing to the overall goal of who I was serving because I was inside of Rainier Beach and Chief Sealth High School. And a big thing I realized is that the youth there, they don't really understand the importance of filling out a piece of paper that can then get you free college, right? And I understood that feeling because I was a first generation college graduate myself, right?
I think all of us in this room.
Yeah, so like you don't know it till somebody tells you.
Yep.
But then you have to believe in whoever you're talking to.
Yeah.
That what they're telling you is going to get you that goal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I used to talk to the kids and be like, all right, what type of job you want? And they'd be like, oh, I want to do this. I'd be like, okay, forget that. How much money do you want to make?
Yeah.
And now I say like $200,000.
Yeah.
Right. $500,000.
Yeah. $1 million.
You know what type of job you got to have to make that type of money?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So we would just have those type of conversations. And I'd be like, well, if you want to get there, then this is the roadmap. And when they started believing in me, I think the thing that kind of made me be like, all right, I got to figure this out was they would be like, all right, I got you. So they would take the application and then go to their parents, but the parents wouldn't fill it out because they needed to have tax information. Right?
Okay, got you.
So I'm like, dang, you still got that barrier. And they're like, well, I don't know what to say. And I'm like, so you don't even know how to advocate for yourself to your own family. I'm like, right there, right? So I was like, all right, I got to figure out a way to create an opportunity for youth just to learn how to advocate for themselves to the people they love so they can get what they want, right?
That's
how many
real.
of us have already shut our mouth as soon as we walked through the door and didn't even ask for nothing, even though we knew we wanted it.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Don't
we
want to
were
be a
never taught to do
burden.
that.
Yeah, that whole thing. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So that was my action. And then I said, all right, that's how I started off. So I say all that to say, when I think about implementation, it's really about like, what is that urgent need? Like, what are you trying to solve and why? And then thinking about like, what do you do to take your first step? So begin with the end in mind. I always say start at the end and work your way backwards. Start to try to feel and visualize what that end is going to look like so that it gives you that motivation to go through the process.
You got to. I always like, I always say like, you got to be a little delusional out the gate.
Oh,
Crazy.
But it's good delusional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you got to think you are that,
Right.
even if you're not that. It's not to say go out and tell people you're that.
Yeah.
Personally, you got to believe.
Move like that.
Yeah,
too.
move like I want to
Hold your
become.
head up and be like, yeah,
You know what I
I'm
mean?
Oh, yeah. I know.
regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people was looking at me like I had to stop. I got to that point where I had to stop because I'm a talker, but I work 20 times harder than I talk.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
like
yep.
I'm gonna always put action behind it.
Yeah.
But talking is my thing now.
Mhm.
You feel me?
Yeah, it's important.
I used to be silent.
Yeah.
You know, so it's good for me to talk now. But you know, I was telling people, you know, around me like, yeah, we're gonna have this number, and you know, and then everybody don't have the same vision. They don't see what you say. You know what I mean?
Yep,
And
yep.
everybody don't have the same belief system either.
Belief system's real.
You know, and I got all of that. So my optimism is high. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta be.
Everything is always
Come on.
even when there's 50 people coming, I'm
Yep.
I'm thinking like we about to have 200.
Yep,
You know what I'm saying?
yep.
The space only hold 40 people.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
we
Gotta
gonna be
move.
outside.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
real
So
talk.
That's
like,
real.
I always move like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So even seeing the block party like that, I was like, hold on. You know, and I don't work for that though.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I don't work for that.
Yeah.
Like I ain't doing it for numbers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a byproduct
Yeah.
of what you're already putting out.
Exactly.
You you don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
All you know is what you're putting into
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So
That's real.
That stuff is it's shocking to see, like you said, created and people will come. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. That's real.
But at the same time, it's like I just want to serve. I'm never moving away from that.
That's real.
I just want to serve.
At its essence, that's like the foundation.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, no, and that attitude right there is why I love working with this brother here, because he reminds me of that. Because when you start getting into, as y'all know, you start getting that fun and the politics come with it.
Yep.
You start getting a little bit you start to lose a little bit of the belief in like people's motives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You start getting caught up in like, man, like, is this really where I want to be?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But seeing this brother serve and how he just executed that block party, I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
He woke up
Yeah.
under me too, like, what
Yeah.
up? Yeah.
Part of what you're talking, you got to
Right.
find a way to stay connected to
Facts,
the
come
work,
on.
you know, and
Yeah.
that's why
Yep.
it's less about the resources. You can have all the resources in the world. It's
Yeah.
like, man, but how is it translating? How are you connecting?
How's it connected?
You know,
How's it
because
impacting?
what did you get
Yeah.
into it for to begin with?
Yeah.
Come on.
You know, if you're removed from that, to your point, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not just with, you know, this type of work. You hear it all the time with people, whether it's a corporate job and
Yeah, or entrepreneurship.
they rise up the
Yeah.
ladder, they get paid really well, but
Yeah.
then they don't feel like the same way they felt when they first got in.
Mhm.
Exactly.
That same initial
Yeah.
spark or whatever you
I'm
want to
glad
call
we're
it.
talking about that because that's how I am. Like I'm not moved by how much money you can give me.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I can't wake up with that and serve with that same feeling
Yeah.
that I had initially,
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Initially, I'm not gonna try to create something because you have something that
Yeah.
that can get me to the next level.
Yeah,
No,
and you got to
I want the
understand.
feeling.
That's another thing I definitely want you guys to touch on, because I mean, all of us here have definitely been able to partner and find ways to receive funding for the work we're doing,
Mhm.
right? Part of what I want you guys to touch on is, what would you say is maybe like some of the challenges other organizations may be facing when it comes to trying to either access resources that are available, whether it be resources or funding, whatever you want to call it. But what are some challenges you see that exist, and how can they maybe overcome those challenges?
I mean, I'll say right now, the current administration,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's number one.
They're making it
right?
tough.
That's
Yeah.
a whole,
Yeah.
whole different beast. But
Yeah.
I mean, outside of that, I think a big challenge is really just finding funding sources that don't make you change your mission and vision.
There you go.
What you tried to do, right? Your purpose, your foundation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think a lot of the times there's just so much. There's a lack of resources, which creates kind of like this need for everybody to try to apply for the same things,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of whether or not they actually do that work,
There you go.
right? And so one thing I've always tried to do as a nonprofit organization is think critically about, okay, does the funding source match my mission and vision?
Mm-hmm.
Does it fall in line with the strategy that I built out?
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, am I going to have to create a miracle or flip something upside down in order to execute on the delivery?
Yeah, to deliver on what I'm
I'm
saying
saying?
I can
So-
do. Yeah.
It's like I would say that's it. And then I say another challenge too is just really thinking outside the box on like how do we collectively come together
Mm.
to jump over some of the local funding and start to get to that state and national funding sources.
Yeah.
Foundational funding too.
Yeah.
I think a big thing is that the more we can come together, the more we can state a case for larger pots of money, which makes everybody sustainable.
That makes sense.
Right. And so how do we build those models where it's like this cooperative feel of us coming together, aligning our resources, leveraging each other's expertise, and building something out that impacts on a wider scale.
There you go.
There's more than enough work out here for everybody.
For sure. For sure.
I mean?
And I think it's I mean, if you want to use analogies, it's like the Avengers, bro. You just
there you go.
You know what I mean? Like
be Tony Stark.
You know what I mean? Be who you are meant to be. But let's do it together. That's real.
Talk.
I like that.
Yeah. And I'm gonna just be transparent, bro. Just be honest, because that's the only way I know to do.
Yeah.
Right. So, what makes me so proud about the work that I do is I'm not even funded. So what you see, is us still grinding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're getting the results that people with funding are not even getting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I'm not flexing, I'm not doing none of that, but I'm just saying, like, because I haven't seen anything yet, then I'm like, okay, this is worth, you know what I'm saying? Us being fully, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then so much so, I just don't really focus on, like, what I need right now. I focus on the bigger picture.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like making those sacrifices.
Yeah.
And making sure I'm connecting with other orgs that's doing the dope work.
Yeah.
That needs that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at other organizations and be like, why aren't they funded? You know what I'm saying? Like, or fully funded the way that they need to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like my thing now. Is that's how I figure out like what's going on with the funding and everything like that. Just looking at the phenomenal orgs like Build to Lead.
Yeah.
You know, like IDEPI. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Shout out to IDEPI too.
That's doing dope work. You know what I mean? And like, okay, this is where a lot of the funding should be going to. You know what I'm saying? Like, why isn't that happening? You know what I mean?
No, for sure. I think, man. It's a lot of gems here, bro. You know what I mean? And a lot of layers to the things we're talking about too.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
But I did want to kind of give you guys, as we're kind of winding down here, I did want to give you guys a chance to just, if you do have a certain message you would like to provide to the community out there, right? Those who want to do the work, those who may already be doing the work, like what are some like encouraging words you'd give to them as they're obviously on their journey?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I say just believe in your mission and your vision, like believe in the things that you're feeling, seeing, right? And praying about. I think at the end of the day, it all boils down to, you just having enough faith in what you're doing to see it all the way through, and just know it comes with wins, losses. It comes with ups and downs. But if you stay the course, you'll see that breakthrough. You know what I mean? So trust the process and stick with it. Leverage your network. Get around good people. Yeah. Who got good things going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Get rid of that negative energy.
It's real.
All that other stuff, right?
It's big. That's big.
And then get a mentor. Lock in with somebody who's been doing this work for a minute, and that can really help you navigate things and go faster. Because I didn't necessarily have one, and so I had to just figure it out. But leverage that mentorship. Absolutely. Lock in with somebody.
Yeah. That's good. That's good stuff, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. And basically similar things, man. Just step out the box.
There
you go. Don't
out your comfort zone.
Yeah, get out your comfort zone.
That's real.
Ain't nothing good coming from there. You know what I'm saying? Because you're just gonna spend the rest of your life watching other people do the things that you so desire to do, right? And get the results that you could have, but you too closed in and within your own bubble and in your own head. Yeah. Step out of the box and build relationships.
Yeah.
Let go of that ego.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got to where I am because I had no ego involved.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
Like,
That's
give
real
people their
talk.
flowers, give them their props, ask for help.
Yeah.
Be genuine about what you need.
Yeah.
Be real.
Yeah.
I never had an issue with asking somebody for something that can get me to the next level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And meaning, like, I'm gonna do something for you. I'm not asking you for handouts. I'm gonna do something for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in hopes that you can do something for me.
Yeah.
As well. You know what I mean?
Add value.
Like, build those mutual,
value. Yes.
valuable
Yeah.
relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The two-way ones, not the one-way street.
Yeah,
You know
man.
what
We
I'm
need the
saying?
two ways.
You
We
need
need more
the
two-way.
Right.
It's a lot of one ways, man.
Right.
No, absolutely. And then
Dead ends too. Don't
Yeah,
give it
it's facts, man. No, that's powerful, bro, because that's part of what I feel like is what holds people back. Like even the platform like the UpNUp, we wouldn't even exist if we thought like that. If we thought, hey, let's not go out of our way.
Right.
Majority of the people we connect with, we don't know them personally, right? But we are aware and paying attention to the work you're doing. So we're gonna go out of our way to make sure we connect with you, right? And so in doing this work as long as as we have and as I have, it's taught me the power of that, bro. It's taught me the power, but it's also doing it with intention, right? So I think what you're talking about is true. Like sometimes you reach out to people because you see what they do, you're inspired by what they do, and you feel like there's a way I could either learn or add value.
Exactly.
And I think if you approach it from those two angles, you can't go wrong.
You can't lose like that at all.
Comfort zone thing is critical too. So we went the other day when we took all those kids to Rattlesnake Ledge.
Yeah.
One thing we talked about afterwards was like we need to start figuring out a way for people to be able to pursue the view. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the times we get intimidated by heights and seeing things from a different perspective and level. You know, it's almost like a lot of times I take my kids to the waterfront, and my son one day, he looked at one of those houses. He was like, man, that house is dope. I was like, you can have that.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, what do you mean? I was like, I'm saying exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you can have that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, our kids see them houses on Lake Washington
and
all those other places and don't even think to say, I can live there one day.
That visualization.
You know what I'm saying? But we do. We need to really start upping the ante with our youth around like what they can really attain and making them believe in it.
Yeah. No, for sure. Well, both of you brothers, man, I just want to thank you guys for coming through, spending some time. And with that being said, I think this concludes our conversation, but this definitely doesn't conclude our work together.
Easy
for sure.
work, man.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
Thank you, man.
Blessing.
It's a wrap.
Hey, there we go. Thank you, bro.